All right, so I actually met this author as he was selling books outside of a shopping mall. He was the sweetest man, and he had all kinds of different titles that were just really clever and very unique. And I bought a few of them for my nephews, and I thought that this would be a great starting point. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and read this first one. Again, it's Keith Lawrence Roman is the author, and I'll go ahead and link his site down here and below in the bio, so that way if you really like this one, you can go ahead and check out some other ones from him. This one specifically is The Mouse and the Cuckoo. Let's make sure I don't set it on fire. Once upon a moment past, there lived a little mouse, who every day climbed up a chain to reach a little house. For in that house there lived a friend, a tiny little bird, who never had too much to say, but wanted to be heard. The bird would pop right into view from two small wooden doors, and speak out loud, "Cuckoo, cuckoo," and then leave and say no more. As quickly as she sang her chime, she soon was in her house, and waiting for another time, alone there sat the mouse. Every hour on the hour, the little bird appeared, and every hour her friend the mouse would climb up to be near. The mouse would greet her with a smile, as nicely as can be. "Might you stop and talk a while? Could you please?" But the cuckoo never stopped, just came and left his cheer. The mouse then thought the bird was deaf, the cuckoo could not hear. The mouse began to scream at her and wave his arms about. "Can't you understand me?" His voice became a shout. Never did the cuckoo once offer a reply. She said her quick "cuckoo, cuckoo," and left without goodbye. Next the mouse decided that the cuckoo must not care. Why else would she ignore me, as if I wasn't there? Inside the cuckoo's heart there lived a singing little bird, but she could only speak each day the same two little words. How could she ever find a way to let the dear mouse know? With all her heart she longed to say how much she loved him so. As midnight neared, once more the mouse climbed upon the copper chain. This time he sat upon the roof to wait and try again. The midnight chime was longer, and the cuckoo stayed outside. The mouse jumped down into the house in darkness there to hide. After 12 cuckoos, the door slammed closed and locked. The mouse and little bird were left alone inside the clock. Finally a chance, he thought, to tell her how I feel, here in the dark, alone at last. The little mouse then chirped and squeaked, "I love you, dear cuckoo." And in the dark was sure he heard, "Dear mouse, I love you too." "Cuckoo, cuckoo," her only words, and then again she said, the little mouse took this to mean it's late and time for bed. So for that hour from 12 to 1, the house and bird took rest, but all too soon the time had come for one to leave their nest. "Cuckoo, cuckoo," the cuckoo said, "the time is 1 o'clock. Stand back, my dearest little mouse, the doors will now unlock." The doors were sprung, the cuckoo flew by force into the light, but fastened the little stage was drawn back to the night. Once again inside the clock, the cuckoo's words were clear. If only for an hour more, her voice the mouse could hear. At her feet, the cuckoo bird was shacked with the lock. Forever she would have to live inside the wooden clock. The mouse began to chew and gnaw the chain around her feet, but brass and steel will never yield to mice with just their teeth. Through the night and through the dawn, the two of them were spoons. They talked and dreamed the hours away until the clock struck noon. Then the cuckoo did her dance and sang 12 cuckoos more. The little mouse then took his chance and scampered through the doors. "Cuckoo, cuckoo," the cuckoo said, "Goodbye, my friend, goodbye." And as a single teardrop shed, her song became a sigh. Climbing down the chain, the mouse looked back to see his friend, sadly singing out cuckoo for years without an end. He called to her his truest love, And though she could not hear, he promised to himself and her and all that he held dear. Dear Cuckoo, hold still your heart, for I will set you free. One day soon I will return and bring with me the key. The cuckoo sang 1,000 chimes. A year had slowly passed. And after all the cuckoo's rhymes, the mouse returned at last. His promise kept, the mouse returned to free her from her jail. He climbed the chain a final time, the key held by his tail. Into the lock he fit the key and set his dear friend free. Then pointing to the window said, the world is yours to see. I'll miss your song, my dear cuckoo. I'll hear you in my dreams. No, no, the cuckoo shook her head. We two are now a team. Cuckoo, cuckoo, the cuckoo said. Together we will be. Climb upon my back, dear mouse, and fly away with me. Oh, that was beautiful. All right. Again, Keith Warren's Roman. Love this one, and I have a couple more coming next by him. And then if you have any other recommendations, or if there's any other up-and-coming authors that would like me to read their story on here, send them my way.